Here we are. Welcome back to another N.y.a show. I'm blessed to have you with me because, of course, it is episode 70. Appreciate everybody that's been tuned in thus far. It's just been week after week of just putting it down so that we can bring these new stories out that what's going on in the community, what's going on in the world. Here we are. I want to speak on this week on the 70th show. Howard gets $2 million grant to digitize Black newspaper archives. Here we are, journalist Nicole Hannah-Jones poses for a portrait at the headquarters of the Associated Press in New York, Friday, December 10th, 2021. Our foundation is donating $2 million to Howard to digitize a major collection of Black newspaper archives in hopes of making it more broadly available to researchers and the general public. It's important to have access to the Black newspapers to have a better sense of the past, said Hannah-Jones, who founded the Journalism Center to increase diversity in the industry. They'll get this $2 million to digitize the Black press archives date back to the 1970s, containing over 2,000 newspaper articles from the U.S. and countries in Africa and the Caribbean. It also has well-known newspapers like Chicago Defender and New York Amsterdam, as well as publications in French and other languages. But most of the collection has been inaccessible to the public, aka you're wiped out because nobody knows what that happened is going on. But only a small percentage of the materials microfilmed, and the physical copy is fragile. Another thing I thought about, if a storm comes through, if people haven't been taking good care of our history, our papers, because at the end of the day, you gotta think about all the papers that is, and people eventually just thinking, what do we want to do with it? So it's good that we have people that stepped in like, I know what the fuck we're about to do with it. We want to digitize this and get it out there to the people that need it. Most of the collection has been inaccessible, like they said. So here we are. Benjamin Talton, the director of Howard's Moreland Research Center that archives that houses the archives, said once digitized, Howard's Black Press Archive will be the largest, most diverse, the world's most accessible Black newspaper database, he said in an email. So I think that we should be happy for things like that. And one thing I want to add here, I want to play a quick video because I don't think that people really understand it without getting a true sense of what it meant to have a representation of the paper. So here we are. I want to go ahead and play this video as well real quick and throw this into our jumble.
For over 150 years, African-American newspapers were among the strongest institutions in Black America. They helped to create and stabilize communities. They spoke forcefully for the political and economic interests of their readers while employing thousands. Black newspapers provided a forum for debate among African Americans and gave voice to a people who were voiceless. With the pen as their weapon, they were soldiers without swords.
Soldiers without swords. So I just want to note that too. So there was no Instagram, YouTube, now, things of that nature that you could just hop on. There's no way for you to just hop on and get your thoughts and your feels out there. So here we are in this time. We took the chance to say, you know what, we're going to take control of our own destiny and we want to create these things for ourselves. Here is links that I'll have these links down with the show for you to see other newspapers from our history that have already been archived. Like here's notice from the Athens Republic. Here's African Methodist Episcopal Church dating back to January 16, 1921. Take a chance to go through some of these links I put in here and see it. Go back to the year your great grandparents were born or something and see what was going on in our community in the world. Here we are, the Maroon tiger lynchings. The curve of lynching has gone up again. The figures are from 1919 down to 1924. It was a steady decrease in lynchings. 1925 went up to 18 that year. Then followed by 1926 jumped up to 31. So look at this information that we have, the colored American from in Washington, D.C. So look at this information that we do have here available to us that I want to also see what's inside of all this Howard University, because Howard, that's a historical black college. And I know that they got a ton of gazillion things that are related to us in our past. So you take that information, you can kind of cross-examine it with a lot of the things in documentaries, movies that they come out with now, because you had a real life, people and experiences from these different groups. And like I said, there's already a lot of that information out there for us already. So I'm hoping maybe another year or two, the information will be completely digitized, because I have digitized books and everything too, if anybody ever needs anything of that nature. books and newspapers because it's important. You got to keep it because it's not always going to be there in the physical, even may not always be there in the digital, but you got to keep on transferring it over to the newest thing that they come up with. So let me know what your thoughts are. Are you excited about hearing that they're about to digitize all this information and current events to us throughout the years? Our former all these different blogs that put out information, those all these what made those things to be. Let's take a rewind back and look at the beginning and all this information that wasn't available to us at first. And just let me know what you think. What you think about it. It's the N.y.a show number 70. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll be back next week with another one.